Howdy ho, YouTube. Jon-Luke VGC here for the third time. Some audio troubles today, but that's okay, it happens. I am here with a team by Naoya Osumi, who used this team to get in the top 4 of the Japan Nationals on June 1st, 2024. A little while ago, a friend of mine had mentioned that they had seen a Blizzard Kyogre team on ladder that absolutely wrecked them, and it sounded really funny. So as I was scrolling through Victory Road in order to maybe find a team that I wanted to feature, I stumbled upon, you guessed it, Blizzard Kyogre, and decided there's no other choice, I have to rock with this. So I think the team is insanely fun, some slightly off meta sets, and let's get into it. To start, we have the star of the show, Kyogre, Drizzle, and Covert Cloak, which I think is a great addition, with Blizzard, Hydro Pump, Thunder, and Water Spout, Terra Ice. Covert Cloak is great, particularly in a best-of-one closed team sheet environment, because some of the most prominent fake-out users, i.e. Incineroar, are weak to water. So if they lead instant, expecting that they would be able to fake out the Kyogre, and then immediately eat a Water Spout, it automatically puts them on a huge back foot for the match. Particularly because if you pair that with like Tornadus, they might think Tornadus has the Covert Cloak, so they will ignore it, and then Tornadus can get a free Bleak Wind or set up a Tailwind, anything like that. Speaking of, we have Prankster Tornadus, Focus Sash with a Ghost Terra, which I think is necessary if you're not going to run a Covert Cloak, with Tailwind, Protect, Bleak Wind Storm, and Snowscape. So you have manual Snow from Tornadus in case you need to set it up for the Blizzard. Nobody really ever expects it. So the funny thing is maybe they'll have their Whimsicott set up Sunny Day, or they will bring out a Rillaboom to combat the impending Water Spout, or even lead with it. And then all of a sudden, you Snowscape, Terra Ice, go for the Blizzard, and they don't see it coming. It is insanely fun to get that combination off. Then we have Chien-Pao with Life Orb, because Focus Sash is taken up by the Torn, with Terra Stellar, I think is an excellent addition to Chien-Pao, one of the few really good users of it, with Ice Shard, Protect, Sucker Punch, and Throat Chop. Over the past couple regulations, Ice Shard has become a bit more common on Chien-Pao, although normally over Throat Chop you would probably see something like Ice Spinner to get rid of a potential Psychic Terrain, but Rillaboom helps you get rid of that anyways. I actually really like this set. Life Orb plus Terra Stellar deals a lot more damage than you might anticipate, particularly against opposing, say, Rillabooms. There was a match when I was practicing with this team where I O-code a Rillaboom from full with Terra Stellar, Life Orb, Ice Shard. I wasn't expecting to do that. I thought it would do a lot, maybe like 80%. I was not expecting to O-code it. That was insanely funny. I think Sucker Punch is great because you have for opposing, Calyrex Shadows, but obviously the Throat Chop is wonderful in case they're paired with something like Clefairy, which is pretty common nowadays ever since Wolf. Thanks, Wolf. Watching you. Or any other Follow Me user like Ogerpon. You have Rillaboom with Miracle Seed, because as you'll see later, Assault Vest is taken. Terra Normal, so you're immune to things like Cali Shadow's Astral Barrage, with Grassy Glide, Wood Hammer, Protect, and Swords Dance. I really actually like Swords Dance Rillaboom sets a lot. Nobody ever anticipates them, but the big thing is, and one of my favorite sets that I've ran with Rillaboom, you can run something like Grassy Seed Acrobatics, and you don't even need to run Terra Flying on it. You can run like Terra Fire to protect yourself from burns. That is so much fun. I loved using that on a team I used for a global challenge a few months ago. But once you get that Swords Dance off, one Swords Dance makes Rillaboom go absolutely insane, dude. I was in a practice match with this team, and it was Rillaboom v Rillaboom, and they Terra Fired. I'd gotten one Swords Dance off, and in grassy terrain, I used the Wood Hammer, and it dealt like 95% to this Terra Fire Rillaboom. It was incredible, dude. Absolutely insane. The only problem with sets like these is you want everything. So you do give up the Fake Out, so you don't actually have any Fake Out pressure on this team. You do give up coverage, so maybe something like a ground move, but that's okay. Wood Hammer's doing enough. Don't worry about it. Even without grassy terrain, it goes crazy. We have kind of a throwback Urshifu set with the Mystic Water, which is something you would have seen right when Urshifu came into Scarlet and Violet. With Surging Strikes, Close Combat, Detect, and Aqua Jet, super common moveset, and Terra Steel, which I'm actually a really big fan of. I took Terra Steel Ursh to Charlotte. I like a defensive Terra on Ursh, particularly in this situation, because you already have the boost from the Mystic Water. You can have the boost from the Rain. Adding an additional layer on that, I don't think nets you a ton of benefits rather than getting a defensive attack, so maybe you can resist those fairy type moves, become neutral to those electric type moves like that. I think that's really good. You also resist grass now, so if you're going to take something like rarely maybe an energy ball from Whimsicott or a Grassy Glide from Rillaboom, all of a sudden you resist that. So I think that is a really good addition. Maybe I'd be interested to see maybe Terra Grass instead of Terra Steel, but I think they're both great and a fantastic choice. And Surging Strikes with Mystic Water in the rain is just doing an insane amount of damage. And finally, we have Entei, which is personally one of my favorite additions in the DLC for Scarlet and Violet, and I loved when we saw it reach some good success in regionals, maybe late last year or earlier this year. I can't quite remember. Time is but a circle. But you have Sacred Fire, Extreme Speed, Trailblaze, and Stomping Tantrum with an Assault Vest and Terra Grass. I think the set is really good. One expectation that I needed to hamper is that when I normally run Entei, I'm running some form of like a Choice Band set in order to fulfill a Dragonite role when I don't want Dragonite. So my damage output expectations for this were maybe a little too hyped up. So in some of my earlier matches, I would lead Entei preparing to maybe get big one-hit KOs or something like that, and then I would end up dealing like 60, 50% to an opponent. So just be aware that this Entei is not really meant to be the star of the show. It is meant to provide some additional coverage, help stop against other fake-out users, and probably just clean up mons at the end. Like E-Speed, like picking up and picking off these KOs near the end of the battle is really fantastic and serves for a lot of utility, and it provides you some coverage. I also really love the addition of Sacred Fire because, again, this Entei's not really here to dish out as much damage as absolutely possible. It's here to serve as a utility mon. So by giving it Sacred Fire, even though your damage is going to be lessened if you're in rain, what you're really fishing for is that 50% burn chance, which I think is a genius idea. So Naoya Osumi, I think this is a fantastic team, and I'm absolutely excited to get into these battles today. So let's do it. Okay, that's upsetting. I accidentally didn't press record on the last game. Not on this, I would just voice over, but on the actual computer. So welcome to the first game. I did win, and it was actually a really good showcase. But we have Oranguru and Didi, Annihilate, Iron Hands, Calyrex, Ice, and Torkoal. Okay. Interesting. A little bit of anti-synergy there between the Indeedee and the Iron Hands. How much speed is in this Entei? It's really a supportive Entei. I'm actually going to move y'all. 68. Okay, so it's okay. You can fake out, but then they have Torkoal on the back. I think I want something like you. 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 We'll go with this. Maybe I do want Rillaboom, actually, but I don't have enough time. The Rillaboom, actually, now that I think about it, against the Cali Ice, against the Torkoal, doesn't get really hurt. So I don't know how useful it would be into this game. I would only have it for the terrain control. Okay, cool. So I shouldn't... Okay, all I want to do here is Bleakwind and swap into Kyogre. I think. This is a follow me Trick Room. So in a situation like this, if I had led something like Kyogre plus Torn, I could have gone for the Water Spout plus the Bleakwind Storm. That might have been a better play. I didn't expect them to go with this passive of the lead, but now I don't actually want to KO either of them. Yeah, so there's the Trick Room, which is fine. Was hurt by its sticky barb. Interesting. Oh, so if something makes physical contact, it'll move over. That's interesting. But that's only if it has an item. Okay. Oh, gosh. So how many turns of Trick Room are there? I don't want to give them a free swap. There should be 4. But I think I do want to Bleak Wind. I actually think they protect. There we go. I swap back in here. Yeah, no swaps. I didn't want to swap. It's 3. What are you going to do? Foul play? Cool. What does this Indeedee do? What does the Indeedee do? Disarming Voice. Cool. That could not have worked out better for me. Super effective. That did very little damage for a super effective move. Cool. So... I'm now happy. So there should be 3 turns left. So I Bleak Wind again. And I Surging Strikes. You. That's okay. They're probably bringing out the Kali Ice now. Protect. But it failed. I actually want it to fail there. Now I don't want you to get KO'd. I want you to stay on the field. Darn it. So this is probably Torkoal plus... Actually, that's not too bad. Because if this is Torkoal plus Kali Ice, I get... For sure, I get... oh no, it's Iron Hands and... Kali Ice. Interesting. So I always have weather control here. But this is absolutely... So they should have 2 booster energy? Yeah, that's fine. How many more turns? I'm stalling this Trick Room, I think, relatively well. So 2 turns of Trick Room left. So I always protect. I actually like this protect. And I detect here. See what they do. Okay. Terra Ice. That's interesting. For a Glacial Lance would be my guess. I'm actually glad that Protect failed. I did not want to get that double because then I would have to swap out here or go for the triple. Which I don't want. Seed Bomb. Interesting, interesting. Okay. Who's the bigger threat here? The Iron Hands, right? Does my rain stay? It does. Alright. I am happy to swap into Chenpao, Terra Steel, and Surging Strikes. If they call this, good on them. This should also be the last turn of Psychic Terrain. I guess I could stay in with Torn here. I don't particularly need it. Just give me spread damage just in case, I guess. Okay. But this is also going to allow, as long as it survives, allow my Ursh to survive or do more damage to this Iron Hands. If I can get rid of this Iron Hands this turn, I'm fairly certain at that point the game's kind of on lock. Because then I just go into... So let's see what happens here. Thunder Punch. How much does that do? It does not KO. Do you Glacial Lance? No, you Seed Bomb. Okay. How much does this do? Absolutely nothing. So now this is In the Rain. Water boosted, yeah. Okay, how much? It's not going to KO, but it's going to be pretty darn close. So that should be KO'd by an Ice Shard. As long as this is the last turn of Twisted Dimensions return to normal, and the weirdness disappeared from the battlefield. Cool, that's what I wanted. So I actually don't even need to Ice Shard here. I want to Throat Chop the Iron Hands and Detect. No, I don't want to Detect, because I don't want them to get a free Trick Room, and the battle was canceled. Okay, cool. So yeah, so at the end of that battle, how could they win? If I had Detected there, I'd give them a free Trick Room, which is not something that I want to do. That's not at all the goal. So if I had actually Detected, they could have Trick Roomed. I would have KO'd Iron Hand. Well, it was a booster energy set. That actually, now that I think about it, they weren't out of that game yet. So what do? So I go for the Throat Chop into Iron Hands, and it protects. And then I go for the Close Combat into Calyrex Ice, and it doesn't KO it, right? So then they get the Trick Room off. I guess I do have Sucker Punch, so that would get rid of the Iron Hands. And I have Aqua Jet on Urshifu. Okay, so actually that following turn, what I would have done is Sucker Punch into the Iron Hands and Detect with Urshifu. Then they should, in theory, KO Chien-Pao. I guess I can just Aqua Jet with Urshifu then, depending on how much damage is left. But let's say there's not that much. There's a decent amount of damage left, health left, right? Then I will Detect with Urshifu. Ideally, then they would KO with Calyrex. I would go into... They would KO my Chien-Pao with Calyrex. They would get the attack boost, but then I would go into Kyogre, get the rain boost, which is more. It's a 30, what is it, like a 33% boost instead of a 25% boost. And then I could Aqua Jet into Cali and hopefully KO from there. Maybe with the Seed Bomb they can KO the Kyogre at +1, but the Kyogre is very bulky. I mean, it's 212 HP. So I don't necessarily anticipate they could. I could also, in theory, bring in... But then they could easily just Glacial Lance, so... I don't know. I think we would have had to see how that play out. Maybe they were a bit too quick to quit. But let's go into another one, see how that goes. Okay. I am interested. This is going to be fun. We have Whimsicott, Ogerpon, Hearthflame, Stantler, Metagross, Groudon, and... Raging Bolt. Okay, so first of all, I think Blizzard is great here. My fear would be the Metagross. What do I want to lead? This is going to be kind of a wonky lead. I actually want to lead these two. Chien-Pao is also very good here. Does Stantler get Intimidate? Yes, it does. Stantler does get Intimidate. Gosh, do I actually want to lead you then? And try to get a burn on something? I don't think Urshifu or Rillaboom are the move here. I definitely think it's these four, but this is the order. Okay, so what do they lead? Whimsicott plus Groudon, Whimsicott plus Raging Bolt, Whimsicott plus Stantler, something like that. I can go for... I would anticipate this is... If Stantler, like, turns... Does Trick Room? I guess I am a bit confused. Unless the Stantler is Skill Swap. That could be the case here. Just to make sure I'm recording now that I forgot to record that first match. Which I'm very upset about. But maybe it's Skill Swap to constantly intimidate me. That would be an option. But we have Raging Bolt and we have... Whim. Okay, that's cool. So here's the deal. The Whimsicott's not doing anything here. I think this is a turn off your brain and go burr. This is a Tailwind into a Stomping Tantrum. They can Thunderbolt Torn. That's kind of fine. It is Focus Sash, which is kind of the thing. Which is why I'm okay with being this aggressive. That is a bulky Raging Bolt. What do they do? Electro Web? That's fine. Yeah, that's okay. So here, I want to do this. I actually want to go into you again. So that makes me think you are definitely an Assault Vest set. Normally you're only going to see that on... Only going to see Assault Vest, Electro Web on an Assault Vest sets for Raging Bolt. So now what I can do... That's okay! That is okay. I mean, it's a little tiring because I wanted to use... Extreme Speed the following turn. But how much damage does this do? Okay, so you're gonna Volt Switch. Do I let Torn go down here? No. I swap into you. Do they have anything that's immune? No. So I Stomping Tantrum again into the Raging Bolt slot. My anticipation here is they're going to Encore plus Volt Switch into maybe something like Groudon. They probably did that because they don't want me to... I'm okay with that. That's pretty cool. Groudon the Gourmet? You mean I get free... I get a free hard damage into this? Did they go for Encore with the Whimsicott? That would be my guess. Moonblast. Oof. Okay, that was a good call, actually. That's really upsetting. But now I get Terrain Control. I just go into Kyogre here, right? I am pretty fast. I've got 44 speed, so I'm going to outspeed most Kyogre. Do I just go for Water Spout? Are they going to run... This is actually a bit of an odd choice, but I'm going to Stomping Tantrum into the Whim. Thinking that it's not actually Covert Cloak, it is... Focus Sash. Light Screen, that's fine. How much does this do? This is still going to do a lot. This is full health Water Spout in the rain. And did its Encore, that's fine. That's cool. Okay, so I absolutely Water Spout. Do I Water Spout again? That was a lot. Or do I... I think I Water Spout again. And I Extreme Speed into Schwimmy Wimmy here. The reasoning is for that is because I want to stop... They might go into Groudon here, but that's fine. I get free damage. They don't. That's the thing there. And now Whimsicott's gone. So they can Bullet Punch me if they want. But that's a lot of damage for absolutely no reason. There's not going to do a lot of damage as I resist it. And there's the Water Spout. Cool. So that's 2 down. So this following turn, I can E-Speed into the Raging Bolts and swap into my Tornadus. That'll give me Weather Control, because now Groudon's permanently on the field. Normally, Groudon's going to run something like Terra Fire. And now there's not Tailwind on either side. If they go for a ground move, then they're out. But I don't see a world where... I think I've locked this up, because what I do... That Whim Moonblast call was really good, though. And I go for the Extreme Speed here. What this does is it protects me from a Thunderclap. I only get punished by this if they're Terra Ghost on Raging Bolt. which is not something that I would expect a lot. E-Speed is really powerful, though. I'm curious if it does pick up the KO. Okay, so here's the Terra. Are they Terra Steel on Raging Bolt? Who's this on? They're Terra Ghost. No, they're Terra Electric. Okay. That's what it's normally Terra Electric or Terra Fairy. So let's see. How much does this Extreme Speed do? Does it KO? No, it does not. Darn. Thunderclap. Okay. I'll take that. Where do they go? What do they do? Who's the miss? Does it miss? No. I have not Terra'd yet either. So I just Terra Ice. Okay, this game's over. There's no way, even because I'm taking away the boost. I definitely want a Tailwind here. Terra Ice Water Spout. This is still in the rain, and I'm not... I want a Tailwind here in case next turn... Let's see how much this does. If they had missed, that would have been great, dude. But oh well. As it says, your opponent always hits the Precipice Blades. That's fine. How much does this do? Not that much. Okay, I think I've locked this in. Yeah, there's no way Groudon takes this. One Bleak Wind Storm should cover me. Setting up that Tailwind was... Yeah. Alright, sorry, Groudon. So is that even... Yeah, it does KO. That's fine. Groudon's pretty bulky, though. Good job living that. But I know I have Tailwind, and I have Rain. So there's no point not to just Water Spout again. That was canceled. GG's. They played that really well. That Wimmy Moonblast call into my Chien-Pao was really good. That did just end up giving me a free switch, which wasn't amazing for them. They might have been thinking that I was going to make that switch. If they made that call, good on them. They might have just done it because they thought it might KO my Tornadus. But Chien-Pao would have put on a ton of offensive pressure later on. So, good on them for getting that, but ultimately when I got the double KO, that just allowed me to retain full weather control, because then I could swap out Kyogre. I don't... If they went for another Electrowebs, okay, I was in a spot, but I think they were... I'd already revealed Extreme Speed, so it's kind of interesting that they did that, but I was hoping that would KO the Raging Bolt, when unfortunately it didn't. It still ended up being okay, though. So... Great match to my opponent. Let's do one more, I think. I think that'll be a ton of fun. I'm liking this team. Alright, Lucas. Let's have some fun. We have Fluttermane, Iron Hands, Spectrier, Torn, Incin, and the Clefairy. I think this is a super safe. The Covert Cloak is what makes me feel really confident here. You in the back for sure for Sucker Punch pressure. They have nothing to stop Priority. So who do I want more, Rillaboom or... Probably Rillaboom? Or Entei. Ugh. I do like Entei, but... Oh, this doesn't have Fake Out, though. Do I want Urshifu? Yeah, Urshifu, and they don't have Weather. They might have Weather. Let's try this. I think this will be fun. My anticipation is that they'll lead something along the lines of, like, Clefairy plus... Calyrex Shadow Rider, or something like Incin plus... Shadow Rider. is something you would see a lot. Go for the fake out. Torn Iron Hands. Okay, this is fine. I always anticipate them to go for a fake out here. So I don't particularly feel like I need to do anything fancy. Let's do the water spout. Protect is good. Do they fake out? No. So how much does this do to Iron Hands? Over 50%. Who do they go for the wild charge on? Cool, Torn. Perfect. And I live at 1. Focus Sash, baby. Okay, that's perfect. So that put me in a really good spot. They can always Bleak Wind Storm. I think I do the same thing. No reason not to, right? Okay, cool. That's fine. Okay, so this is where the Blizzard comes into effect. My guess is the next one's going to be Clefairy plus... I guess, yeah, it would be Clefairy plus Calyrex Shadow. So what I can do is, yeah, I can probably survive one. I'm really bulky. So I will Terra Ice. Yes. Perfect. Oh, I am hoping this is going to be good. I have not done this yet, so let's see if they can answer me really well. But I haven't revealed. We go over to town. We go to town. Let's do it. Let's do it. Snowscape. Terra Ice. Blizzard. If this goes well, man, I am making sure I'm recording. If this goes well, oh, perfect showcase for something like this. So there's the Terra Ice, there's the Terra Ice. Let's see. I want to see how much this does. Because they're obviously going to try to go for the... Okay, that's fine, that's fine. I wonder why they would do that. Trick Room, maybe? It would be faster than me, that wouldn't make any sense. Sing! They might sing. That's only a 50% hit, though. That does a nice chunk. And they miss. Okay. This is what? How many turns of Tailwind do I have? 1. Okay. I Protect. I Blizzard. I didn't really protect yet, so now I can get my Tailwind back up next turn if... That's fine. Remember, Sing is 50% accurate. Okay, so how much does this do to me? This is not +1. Not even 50%, that's cool. Critical hit on Calyrex. That is totally fine. If you get a double KO here, I'm actually pretty cool with this. I do not want my Mons to live. Tailwind. Blizzard. Because I have Chen Pao. Do they double protect? Astral Barrage again? Yeah. That's fine. I won't KO. But I do have Chen Pao in the back. +1 won't KO me. It didn't even do 50% last time. That's fine. And now I have the speed advantage is the thing. So I'm actually cool with... And they just protected the Clefairy. So I don't actually anticipate... Oh gosh. They could, in theory... I want to Ice Shard here. I want a Blizzard again. If I wake up here, I think it's game over. That's fine. What are they? Terra Fairy, probably? If they have Draining Kiss, that's okay. Because I'm most likely to wake up the following turn. And I have Mystic Water. If I wake up this turn, I think it's game over. Yeah, that's what I wanted. That's fine. There's Clefairy gone. So now, if I wake up, this is a single hit attack. Do we wake up? Yes. That's pretty good luck, but I think I'm still fine. Because the following turn, I would go into Urshifu. I still have Tailwind up. And I can just Surging Strikes into it. So I don't think I needed that wake up, but that wake up certainly sealed the deal a little bit faster. Especially if they had Draining Kiss, because then they'd get probably all of their health back, which is cool. They should have assumed I was Sash, though, so yeah. I think this is a really cool team. If I had any preferences, I love Entei as a Pokemon. I think it's super cool. I do wish it had a little more damage output. When I run Entei, I normally run Choice Band, as it's like a Dragonite replacement, but it's got a ton of utility, and I think the use of Trailblaze is super cool, and I would love to... I've tried stuff like Trailblaze Urshifu before with some moderate success, things like that, so I think that would be really fun, but I think this team is great. It's certainly original, so thank you. It's Naoya Osumi. I love this team. Totally think it is fun. Nobody expects the Blizzard, so I think I'll leave y'all with that today. I hope you liked the video. Check out the team, play around with it. It is such a good time with some of these slightly off-center sets that you wouldn't normally expect. And I did forget to say it in the last video, but don't forget this time that Twan says to make sure to like and subscribe. All right, everyone. Peace!